Hey everyone, and welcome to the Delta Juliet Show, where healing meets humor and a good drink.
And we're your hosts, Delta and Juliet, and we're here to share stories about the beautiful, messy journey of mental health and healing. Ours, our guests, and maybe even yours someday.
This show is all about building a community. You like to call it the crew, because nobody should have to navigate life's storms alone. So grab your drink and join us.
And whether that's with a cocktail in hand or a cup of tea or just a sense of curiosity, and remember, we believe that adventure is healing. So you'll hear us talk about overlanding, nature, and lessons we've learned along the way.
We also like to keep things real around here. That means tough topics, honest conversation, and maybe a few curse words. Definitely a few curse words. So consider this your heads up.
Some episodes might not be suitable for kids, so pop in your headphones if little ears are nearby. Now let's dive in and get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. A little bit unconventional today.
Yeah.
Figured we'd do it in our bar.
We're in base camp today. So, let's get to it. All right,
Get to it, Lars. I don't know. Anytime someone says that. I know.
Do it to it, Lars.
What did I say?
Let's get to it.
I like my version better.
I don't.
What are we doing today, Delta?
So, today is part 2 of our military experience.
Yeah.
Last time was pretty much all negatives, but there are some positives.
Yeah, it
and
was
there's
heavy.
also some funny stories, so
Yeah.
we're going to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
And we're also starting a new segment at the beginning of each episode where we, get you guys to chime in on certain, everyday mental health aspects of life that we don't really think about.
Basically, we're going to judge people's stories.
That one.
Off of Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to join us. So, today we're looking at an Am I the Asshole from a Reddit post.
Oh my gosh. I love Reddit.
Yeah, Juliet's forever showing me, read this, read this, read this. I'm like, babe, I don't read. Stop it. But today I read. So, hold on to your butts. All right, am I the asshole for yelling at a mom and her kids to get out of my home? A few months ago, I, a 28 female, started a new D&D campaign and invited a few friends.
Oh no, I already know where this is going.
One of them, we'll call her Sarah,
Sarah.
asked if her friend Anne could join. Anne is a mom who doesn't get many chances to hang out with adults, so I agreed even though I knew she might be flaky due to childcare responsibilities. I asked Anne if she could attend at least the first few sessions to get familiar with the game, and she agreed. She then proceeded to cancel, mostly last minute, every proposed first session for the next 2 months. I told her I'm sorry, but if she can't make it to the next proposed session, she won't be in long campaigns.
Yeah.
Still welcome to join on one-shots. She apologized and said she'll make it. She made it, but she brought her toddler without asking.
Oh, no.
That's already a no-go for my home.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I'm an asshole. As soon as they came, the kid needed to use the bathroom. He made a mess since he can't fully use the adult toilet yet. I told Anne that's fine, but asked her to clean it up. This surprised her and she started being a bit on edge. We finally sat down at the table and the kids started running around, looking for things to do. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Toddler, they want something to do. I was a bit stressed out by this. Anne noticed and put him in her lap. But now the kid was at the table, which was covered in mini figurines, dice, pretty pictures, and maps.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Most being choking hazards, along with glasses of various drinks. The kids started fussing about wanting to play with them.
Yeah.
I was telling Anne no because it's not safe. She told me he's gentle and doesn't put stuff in his mouth. We bickered while our kid was throwing a tantrum. After the kid knocked over a glass, I loudly asked her to step out into the backyard and calm him down while I make this table safer. They came back and things were fine for a minute. That is, until my dog came out of my room to drink water. Now, I don't have many house rules, but I have one that's important. Ignore the dog. They were informed of that before coming over. The kid spotted her and yelled, "Doggy!"
Oh, no.
And put him down to say hi. He made a full-speed beeline at my dog while making grabbing motions and yelling. I stopped him by stepping out in front of him. He ran into me, fell down, and started crying. And started screaming at me. I screamed back, and very swiftly told her to get the F out of my house. Sarah was annoyed and told us it took them an hour and a half to get to... Sarah was annoyed and told us it took them an hour and a half to get to me.
So?
Then went with Anne since they carpooled. The rest stayed. It was awkward for half an hour or so, but we ended up having fun and they even stayed for the night. I then woke up to the local Facebook groups and people's Instagram stories calling me a controlling asshole.
Yeah.
Saying I'm discriminating against various players, being too strict, and have a dangerous dog. To add insult to injury, Sarah, who I've been friends with for years, is not speaking to me. So, am I the asshole?
No, absolutely not. Fuck that bitch.
I could see how people could think that, but
No.
I don't think so.
No. You bring a kid over without asking if it's if it's okay.
Some people are not okay around kids. Like, they don't want to deal with them. Our house is not safe for kids.
Yeah.
At all. And we always ask people, hey, if you're going to bring your kid, let us know, or just don't.
Yeah. Like, we need to be prepared if we're going to have a child over, which
we have
isn't...
things that we need to put away.
Like
this.
Yeah. And, like, to be pissed off because your child made a mess in the bathroom and the host asked you to clean it up. Like, I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
I would be mortified if my kid made a mess.
I know. No. Like, look.
So many parents these days are like, well, I let him make his own choices, so eventually he'll learn what good choices are on his own.
No.
Kids are retarded.
If you're not going to discipline your child... Yeah.
Kids need structure and discipline.
Yeah, it's actually good for them. Who would have thought?
Jeez.
Jinx, you owe me a blowjob. Just kidding.
We'll be right back.
It's our little...
Yeah, I'm looking through some of the comments, and
I'm sure people are unanimously saying, no, you're not the asshole.
Yeah, kind of. It's a lot of comments on comments. Some are mixed. Some are, you can tell, are parents that only...
Look,
there's so many parents on this that only care about their kid and no one else, which I get. But you need a life and a world, too.
Exactly. Look, we don't have kids. We have friends that have kids. However, you need to understand, if you're a parent and you have kids, you need to understand that, like, your friends, like, your kids don't take precedent over your friends' like rules, you know, especially if they're hosting you.
Yeah, okay, so OP has offered the following explanation of why they think they might be the asshole. I fought with and yelled at a guest in front of her child. I made her feel hurt and publicly embarrassed in the process.
I mean, sure, yeah, but I'd be pretty pissed.
It did seem like, at least from reading it, the context seems like they tried to calmly ignore the first situations or render the situations like, hey, this is not a safe table.
She tried to make the table safe.
Yeah.
But then after the last straw of, like, ignore the dog.
I want to know why you're supposed to ignore the dog. Does it get too hyped up? Is it actually dangerous? Or is it a service animal?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of questions
with
that.
On? Yeah, but there's a lot of not the assholes.
Oh, crap.
Holy crap.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Oh,
Waiting for the other one.
fuck. Ooh.
Oh, thunder. Bless you. Holy crap.
Yeah. My allergies have been terrible.
Not the asshole. They disrespected your time, your property, and the rules. Being a mother is tough and comes with a ton of responsibilities, but you have already been very lenient with her and got rewarded with public slander.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mom blogs are the worst. I feel like that's a really toxic place.
Yeah.
But
Gosh, if we ever had kids.
some of the most toxic people I know are moms.
Yeah.
And also
I don't know. People just suck.
very bored dads.
Yeah.
But mostly moms.
I think it just depends on which community you're in.
That's fair.
You know,
Yeah.
honestly. I'm sure it goes both ways, and depending on
Yeah.
whatever circumstances, but...
But I don't know, maybe we're the assholes for agreeing
No,
with
well,
that.
you know what? Even if we are, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, I get wanting to be involved in stuff and
Yeah.
everything, but at least give somebody a heads up that you're bringing a kid to, of all things, a D&D game. There's heavy drinking. There's, like they said, miniatures.
You're going to be
There's
sitting at a table.
for hours.
Yeah, like, come on. At least have a game plan
Maybe
for the child.
Sarah didn't explain what D&D was to this girl.
But maybe this, of all times, this would be one of those times to bring, like, the iPad for your child. Like, I'm not a proponent for just slapping a screen in front of your child at restaurants, at pretty much everywhere. But in those situations, I'd be like, this
Yeah.
is an occasion. I couldn't get a babysitter.
There's a time and place. And
Yeah, exactly.
Granted, we're not parents. I know there's going to be people out there in the comments that are like, you're not parents, you don't know, why are you even talking about this? Well, because I know basic societal rules
Yeah.
and customs.
Just be polite.
Yes.
And mindful of, like, especially if you were the guest. Like, if I'm the guest, I'm going to go out of my way to make sure I don't make a mess.
I was
that
talking
I'm
about the
polite.
iPad parents.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Like, because, we even know a few. And granted,
Everyone's an iPad parent.
and they're like, well, it's the only way I can keep them calm. So, yeah, that's because that's the only way you've ever kept them calm. So they
Because
have
you don't
no
have patience. Yeah, exactly. So, all right, Delta.
All right.
What the hell are you drinking?
Well, you made me a Manhattan.
I know. Shut up, baby. I know. What?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's the cat box timer.
Yeah, well, it can wait.
I know.
Otherwise, I'll forget.
Yeah.
ADD over here, so I forget everything. I have an alarm. I'm starting to create alarms for everything.
Good.
hate it.
I'm glad. I put all of my events on my calendar because.
Oh no, not calendars. Alarms.
Yeah. And sometimes I do too. It just like I will forget. 100%. So.
Yeah.
All right. So we are gonna play a bit of a game.
Oh, we're turning. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we each prepared.
We curated 10 questions each. 5 of them just maybe
There we go.
questions about like
It's gonna be
funny
military
story.
themed.
Yeah. It's all gonna pertain to our military history.
Yeah.
And 5 of them for each of us are, just funny stories or questions that probably only military people might understand. And then the others have to do with learning how to deal with mental health in the military or lack thereof,
But there's a twist. So there are 2 rules. The first rule
I thought
is
there was only one rule.
well, surprise. The first rule is if we both have the same question, whoever happens to ask the question first, and the other person asks that question. Like, for example, if I happen to ask the same question as you, and I ask it, you have to drink, like, a shot. The other rule would be if you can't come up with a good answer, if you're like, I don't know, you have to drink.
Okay. That's fair. All right, you get to go first since I used all of my energy reading.
Okay. Question number 1. What is the most ridiculous piece of military jargon you've ever heard?
Let's see. There's quite a few.
The Air Force has like a lot of isms.
Yeah. The only one that's coming to my head is the one we talked about earlier with, like, finding out snafu is not a word, it's an acronym. And it stands for Situation Normal, All Fucked Up. I didn't know that until, like, 2 years into the Air Force.
Yeah, because like the military just it's like acronyms within acronyms within acronyms. And so like, you know what they mean, but you just don't know. Sometimes you don't know what they stand for, but you know what they mean, you know?
What about you?
Hey, post-production Juliet here. For whatever reason, I had a sudden case of amnesia. Guess my time in civilian life is working. But to provide a classic example of all the typical Air Force isms, I've decided to jam-pack as much as I could in a single statement. To piggyback off of Airman Snuffy, I just want to foot stomp that I have an open door policy and that y'all should keep doing what you're doing and that it would behoove you to have a great Air Force day. Any saved rounds? Anyone?
Oh man, it's like one of those like when people are briefing or like giving meetings, it's like those like Air Force terminology of like, oh, what is it? Let me pull the thread on that.
Oh yeah. I guess one of my favorites is we need to get to the left of this.
Yeah,
Stay to the left of this. And we need to head it off before anything bad happens.
Yeah. Gosh, like... And there's, like, a whole bunch of, like, Air Force, like, fluff lingo.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, like... I even used it in the last episode of, like, using the word resiliency, and I even felt kind of, like, dirty saying it. But, yeah, they always find a way to, like, say the word resilient in every briefing. It's an important word for sure, but I feel like it's kind of a fluffy word.
It's a fluff word, but I mean, that's kind of what we're all about. I didn't realize it till we were building this list, but I was like, we are about resiliency. Because I mean, there's a lot of situations in life where people just don't have that. I didn't have it for a while, and I didn't know why. I thought I did until, you know, shit hits the fan.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check my... Okay, my mic is still working.
Okay. All right, so... Two-parter. No cheating.
Two-parter.
What is the best MRE you've ever had?
Oh.
And what is one that you will never eat again?
Oh, okay. One that I will never eat again. I had to eat this cold, and I was just unlucky enough to get this one MRE like 5-10 times, and it was the these like biscuits and gravy one.
Yeah, that was.
I think it had like sausage in it or something. I don't know, but it was cold. Like I had to eat it cold, and it was so gross. It was so gross. As far as like the best one.
God, that doesn't work.
What?
I'm just gonna stand up.
Oh, okay. As far as the best one,
weird sitting down and
I
being
feel like
your
there's
level.
several of them. The vegetarian ones are really good.
No.
No, I loved it.
No.
Or like the taco soup ones. I think there was like a taco soup, some sort of soup. Hamburger or chili mac.
Chili mac.
That one's good.
That one's my absolute favorite.
But man, it's dangerous.
Other than that, it's whichever ones come with M&Ms or Skittles.
Is that a set thing? I figured it was kind of randomized. Or is that like with a set entree?
I mean, from what I remember, like if you got a certain one, you knew there was going to be a certain candy.
Well, regardless, even if there was, we weren't
But
allowed to have the candy.
Oh, well. At least you guys had some hardships.
I love, fuck you. I don't know. I still love MREs. Like, it's like Christmas.
I do
You
too.
just don't know what you're going to get. And it's
just
like
a lot of work.
Like, it's like, it's just, I love it.
Mostly I just don't like keeping the trash in order.
Oh,
I mean, it's not a big deal by any
bag,
means. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But
the peanut butter spread is so good. I don't know how you guys.
Jalapeno cheddar spread.
I don't know how you guys.
Spread?
Ugh.
Oh, it's so good.
No.
I mean, you're not shitting for 3 weeks, but it is good.
Also, like the kind of like, I think it's supposed to be like a breakfast MRE.
Why are these sticking?
Oh yeah, because it's the condensation or some shit. But it's like a sort of like a breakfast MRE kind of thing, but it's kind of hard, and it's like, I don't know, it just tastes good. Yeah, I don't know. I love MREs. What are your favorites?
Chili Mac.
Yeah.
100% number one.
What's the worst one?
Ooh. Honestly, it was a vegetarian one.
Really?
Yeah, and I was excited because I remember you talking about them before I went to basic, and I was like, "Oh, okay, good. It's a vegetarian one," and it was I can't remember what it was, but I didn't eat that day because I got it twice.
I loved it.
I took one bite and I was like, I would.
Did you ever have like the gravy one?
The gravy one?
Yeah, like the sausage and gravy.
No.
Okay. No. Well, it was just. It's just gross because it's just all gravy and then like little, and it's cold. Ugh.
Let's do a serious one.
All right. Well, I have one. Yeah. What's a coping strategy that works for you but not for me?
And either have YouTube on in the background or just lay in bed and stare at the ceiling. And a lot of times throughout our marriage, you've come in and said, well, you need to do something to take your mind off of it. You can't just sit here all day. And I'm like, yes, I can, because it helps.
Yes, I can, bitch. Watch me.
And then there's other times when I'm like, hey, you need to like take a minute and just rest. And you're like, no. I can't. If I stop, I'll keep thinking about it, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Interesting.
I feel like we answered your side of that question in that. Or what do you do what do you do that helps you?
But that wouldn't help you.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do you even know? Because that's a good thing to know. What helps?
I mean, I feel like I do just sit and watch TV if I just need to chill. But like, I wouldn't say it's like a coping strategy. I would just say like, hey, I just need a minute just to chill after work kind of thing. Like, hey.
Oh, no. I took it as like.
Yeah.
Something has.
I know, and that's what I'm trying to think. I'm like, well, what do I do?
You go into autopilot cleaning from my experience.
Oh, if I'm upset.
Yeah.
Like if you pissed me off, I clean.
Yeah. I should piss you off more often. I shouldn't. That's a bad idea.
Take a shot for
Don't do that. What?
Take a shot.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Fine, pick me one.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll do a good. I'll do crash. But you love cracking.
I do, but it just sounds so sweet right now. Yeah, maybe you're right. We might need more room back here. All up in my butt.
I'm not gonna do the whole thing.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
Revenge is a dish best served with a shot.
I'll give you that much. That's like half a shot. That's a full shot for me, but that's like half a shot for you.
Should I take it like you take shots?
Sure, demonstrate for us, honey.
Really? All this?
You gleek.
Thanks for that.
Just.
It's because you do it every time. I don't know. Woo! I don't know. I don't know if I can finish that. Come on, babe, do it. Oh.
You're such a turd.
Woo!
That's great. That's so great. Okay, it's your turn.
Okay. Let's see.
Well, hi, Cortana.
What is a misconception about military mental health that you wish people understood?
Wait, say that again.
What is a misconception about military mental health that you wish people understood?
Oh, okay, good. That's not exactly my question. About military mental health.
I guess mental health in the military. We'll put it that way.
I will say it's okay. From my perspective in the Air Force specifically, I think there's two answers to this. Because it really depends on the luck that you had or the non-luck. Either it's people think military mental health is getting better because there's more resources.
And they keep saying it's getting better.
But also, people think that it just sucks all the way around. I think both are true, depending on really the luck of the draw that you have, unfortunately. And it really just depends on what career fields and your leadership. My first squadron was amazing. My first and last squadron were amazing about mental health. Yours, not so much. And the squadrons that I've been in, anytime that someone had mental health.
Funnily enough, my last squadron was good at it.
Yeah, well, it's good. In my experience, like, my leadership and, like, myself as well, we would always try to make sure that seeking therapy was not going to be damaging on your career. I even try to be open with like my troops, like, hey, I've got a counseling appointment on Friday. I'll be out, between this time and this time, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, yeah, like I've been through some tough times. I seek counseling. And it's been helping. I try to be open in talking about that. But unfortunately, there are those experiences where people have lost their careers, their clearances. It really just depends. Like, unfortunately, it comes down to leadership. And I think the quality or lack thereof of, like, the mental health clinic on base. So it really, like, unfortunately, I think it is getting better, but it's also getting worse. And I know that's not really a good answer, but it's kind of both are true.
Yeah. In my experience, it's definitely been a lot of that, it's kind of a crapshoot, and it depends on who's in charge of you.
Yeah.
Which I think is something that a lot of people don't understand is, well, no, your mental health, like, your journey is up to you. No, it's not.
No, yeah. When it comes to the military, like, that's...
If as soon as you put on that uniform and go into work, there is no you.
Yeah.
It's an us thing. And rightfully so, because that's how it has to function. And lately they've been losing sight of that with all the about me stuff of my truth, my this, my feelings. Which, granted, there is a place for that because that's part of the mental health is you have to somehow be autonomous in all this because otherwise you'll lose yourself.
And I think you also have to acknowledge people's experiences too.
You absolutely do, but there's a lot of people that have no understanding of, well, what do you mean I have to put my stuff aside for the day?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make sense to me, and that's kind of a thing, but the bad side of that is sometimes your mental health journey is not even in your own hands. It's in the hands of your higher ups and your leadership. And sure, there's stuff you can do once you get off duty for the day.
Yeah.
Or, heaven forbid, you be deployed and deal with this, which a lot of people do. And you have to wait till you get back because there's almost no chill time at that point.
Yeah, I think there's a huge problem of people doing too much and bending over backwards for the military when at the end of the day, it sucks to say this, but it's true. You are a number and you are replaceable.
And
you as
they
a
tell
human,
you that when
yeah.
you sign the dotted line.
Yeah.
And we forget about it sometimes.
Yeah.
I say even we, like we're amazing at it. We're not. But everybody forgets that at some point.
Yeah, so I think it's, and I see it all the time on Air Force Reddit where like supervisors or even airmen are like, I have bent over backwards and I don't even get anything in return. And I'm like, that really sucks. I'm really sorry. You should be recognized for all the work that you're doing. But at the same time, you really shouldn't be doing all that work. You know, like there is a time to say no. And that's something that I struggled a lot in my career to say no. And I think I've gotten a lot better. But yeah, I think that is like, it's a dual prong answer. Like, depending on who you talk to, like there's a misconception that like mental health is all bad in the military or like it's all getting better. And it's like, the reality is it really just depends.
Yeah.
Like what card you
Every
draw.
single person you ask, you're gonna get a different answer.
It really just depends, which is not cool. But
all right, moving on.
Oh, that's my turn.
Yes.
All right, on a similar vein, what's one thing people misunderstand about officer and enlisted marriages that you wish they knew? Or relationships?
Not as many people cared as I thought they would. Because they tell you all the time, like, going through basic, going through your tech training, going through, you know, your first 6 months at your squadron, that these relationships are forbidden. And there is no fun buddy-buddy interaction. There is no this, there's no that. You are separate. You are lower. You are not allowed to speak to our high and mighty kind of shit. Which it's more lax than that, but that's an extreme example. But, in some places.
Yeah.
In others,
really
they adhere to those rules. We had to have a piece of paper signed by a base commander saying we were allowed to stay married.
I love it. I'm like, okay, alrighty. We need to like frame it because it's really funny.
It is. We do need to frame it.
That
is one of my favorite stories of having to have that signed.
I wish that people knew, or more people knew that. Because you are going to get some people, depending, like, if you get people that have been in long enough, they've seen it. And they're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. And we probably know, like, 4 or 5 other couples.
Yeah.
At least.
And it's actually, like, not as uncommon as I thought it was.
No,
but
it's pretty hush-hush, though.
I will say a lot of them are like, oh, so you're prior-y. And I'm like, no. Like, some of us, and this is where, like, I wish they would, like...
Prior-y means that you became an officer after you were enlisted.
Yes, thank you for the translation. Like, I wish more people knew that, hey, maybe the other scenario you should consider is that maybe these two people got hitched and then joined the military in, different paths, which is our case.
Yeah. And then there's people that they were prior-y. And then there's those devilish few that...
Oh, those are scoundrels.
Courted a relationship.
Oh, spicy.
In secret.
Yeah, those are a little...
Which I don't know how they come out as married after that. I would love to be a fly on that wall.
Oh my gosh. Well, especially the ones that are like, they got together while they were in the same squadron.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are like, ooh, naughty, naughty.
Shame, shame,
But at the end of the day,
your name.
At the end of the day, we're all adults. So,
yeah.
if you can carry yourself professionally.
That also means following the rules, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the military's just kind of an interesting breed.
Yeah, and it's different for every branch.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
the Air Force and the Navy are definitely the most strict between, like, officers are definitely better than enlisted. We care about them way more. Army and Marines, they still have that respect and those rules, but they're blurred a little bit because of camaraderie.
Yeah, and that's something I respect so much about those branches. Yeah.
All
Cool.
right.
What's the next one? Still on.
What's the most creative way you've seen someone get out of PT?
Oh, had a PT. Oh my gosh.
I feel like you have a better answer for this than I would because you had to hear them.
Oh my gosh. I have other crazy stories, but not really.
Okay, I'll go for this one.
Okay, you know what? I think I have to drink for that.
You do.
I have to take a shot because I can't think of a creative story to get out of PT. But I have heard other stories.
Well,
Not specifically around PT.
Oh. I pick you a imbibement.
Everyone was like really good about showing up to PT. They either had like appointments or like meetings for work. Other than that, like people were pretty good about going to PT.
My two favorite.
Whoa. Oh, you're going to mix it.
No.
I'm going to have that straight?
Yes. We tried it and you thought it was delicious.
Yeah, but not like as a shot. This is peppermint coffee liqueur.
Fine.
Like, you can pour it into something.
Did I get an objection when you picked mine?
No, but that's a liqueur, dude.
No, it's not. That's a whiskey.
Is it?
Yes. It's just flavored.
Well, okay, why don't you mix those two together from Spirit?
You know what? Fine. No, you just get this one.
Okay, fine.
Too friggin' picky. I'm just gonna use the same glass. Always picky.
Man.
She thinks I'm the picky one.
Getting out of PT. No,
So-
but I've had flight chiefs and like NCOs tell me like all sorts of gnarly stories of their times of being like,
Is that too much?
I guess so. That's fine. That's fine.
Oh, damn, that's good. A little scotchish.
Bottoms
Scotch
up,
E.
bitch.
You actually did it.
I sure did.
Good for you.
Because I'm not a bitch.
I never said you were. I just thought it was funny that you always took a shot that way. It's like you prepared yourself throughout the entire process.
Exactly.
So my two favorite stories about this are we had a dude legitimately put in half a day of leave 2 hours before, and tried to. He tried to get leave. He tried to get. So it wasn't half a day. You can't take half a day of leave.
Yeah.
He tried to use a whole day of leave for just half a day so he could avoid PT. They didn't let him do it. Actually, it wasn't even a he, but I'm sure you know who it is.
Oh, yeah.
Butterball.
Yeah.
And the other one was because he was trying to avoid jail time. So,
what?
Wait, they
what?
caught him because of the PT. Otherwise, no one ever would have known.
Wait, what do you mean they caught him
So
because of the PT?
this kid gets a DUI, doesn't tell anyone. On the day of his court date, he just takes leave in advance because they gave him a court date like 3 or 4 weeks away. Maybe months. But, he took leave for that. And they're like, oh, he's just at leave, blah, blah, blah. And one of his friends just
Oh, yeah.
freaking snitched.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's like,
If you're going to try to get away with something,
Don't
tell your fucking friends
No.
at work. Like, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Yeah, I don't... That's a
I
good
figured you would have
question.
had better ones because people actually have to give the excuses to you.
You know, they didn't really
You're just that terrifying, huh?
They didn't try that. Like, if it was legit reasons, then I'm like, cool, that's fine. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. We did have, like, people do, like, shenanigans with, we have, like, what's called family days. And so typically the wing commander or the base commander will, like, if there's a holiday, they typically give, like, that Friday, if the holiday's on a Monday, off to military members. Depending on, I guess, which...
what does that have to do with PT?
Well, I was just saying, like, that was when we had the most shenanigans with people trying to put leave. They were trying to put leave on top of the 4-day weekend.
Stack it.
When you can't do that, which is like, it's kind of dumb that you can't. But those are the rules. Them's the rules.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on.
What's the worst motivation speech you've ever heard, and can you recite it?
I can't recite it verbatim.
Okay.
But
Just give us the gist.
I mean,
Because there's a lot of them.
the 2 or 3 points that I remember were I am an alpha male. You need to make me look good, otherwise I'm going to make your life miserable. So let's get this done and let the higher ups know that we're awesome. And by that point we knew he meant I'm awesome.
Yeah.
And then
This is Captain Voldemort.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. There was another one by our group commander, the dude who got the combat award for never being in combat.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, at his leaving ceremony or medal presentation or whatever, he gave a little speech of basically, I would say thank you, but I don't take second-rate airmen for any reason, so y'all's success is on me.
That's bold.
I mean, it wasn't those words, but it was basic.
Yeah, no, that's
It's actually how I met Farmer. We were sitting next to each other, and he was like, I don't know who you are, but this guy's bullshit. And I was like,
You should text him that.
100%, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We barely knew each other at that point, but he was like, yeah, it was basically that. And we just started shit talking him the entire ceremony.
All the motivating speeches are like essentially the same in the Air Force. It's always like,
It's either that or they steal it from Braveheart.
yeah. Oh my gosh. How did I not think of that? But they're always like full of fluff and it's like Air Force jargon and like it's just a lot of Air Force Kool-Aid shit. I think the worst speech. It's not really
Ram those
motivation.
F-22s straight up their ass because they are farting jet fuel.
This is not a motivation speech, but it was like the worst speech I ever heard. And this was at that funeral that you came with me on base where like people, like person after person would talk about this person who committed suicide and how wonderful of an airman they were and that they were always going above and beyond and their whole life was work. And I was like, excuse me, what the fuck, babe?
What went out?
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget that's a thing. But I'm like, you guys didn't stop to think that maybe him overworking himself might have caused.
Oh yeah, all the speeches were.
It was all about
He
what
stayed-
he did for the Air Force.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like.
He always had a smile on his face. He never complained. He was always happy. He didn't talk too much. He just got his job done. He always stayed late.
So
if
he
there was any
taught.
heat to take, he took it. There's like, guys,
Oh
do you hear yourselves? Like, no one mentioned him as a person.
yeah.
They all mentioned him as a worker
It's
or
so
an
sad.
airman or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call him.
Yeah, so that's probably like the worst like speech I ever heard. Not a motivation speech, but it was the worst one.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
I think it's your turn.
Is it?
Wait,
No.
No? Did you
I just
go?
asked the
Oh, okay,
yeah.
so it's my turn for
Yeah.
I feel like we just did a serious one, but it was a fun one.
It was fun, and then it turned.
Yeah. How do you handle the mental switch between being on duty and being at home?
I think fine. Like
I,
maybe at first it was a struggle, but like I feel like
Yeah,
as the years went on and I started to get comfortable, I'm like,
yeah, at first you would not stop worrying about everyone or everything people
Yeah.
are asking you to do.
yeah.
But eventually you gotta handle
Yeah,
it.
it was just a matter of like getting used to like being an officer and just figuring out like what's really expected and what I should really do and you know, like
What's your problem and what's not your problem?
yeah, exactly. I mean, I was always there for my troops if they ever texted me or called me, but I think when I became like when we got an assignment out in Colorado and as a captain, I think my days ran just a little bit longer just because I had all these meetings. But at home, I was more than happy to just like, all right.
Yeah, I think out of the two of us, I
Just
had a
chill.
harder problem with that. Not like I was thinking about my duties or anything, but just keeping like work problems at work
Yeah.
and not thinking about them throughout the night because I will stew
Yeah.
on anything.
I think I have a much better off-on switch than you.
Yeah, I thought I did,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize I was worrying about the next day's work all night long.
Yeah.
I just had a bad habit of that.
Okay.
And that goes with any job, not just the military.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. What's the grossest true story you've ever heard someone tell you about another military member? I definitely have like 2 or 3 stories on this, but
So I was in tech training, and there's this one female airman I'll
okay.
never forget.
Okay.
I ended up, because I was older, all the sergeants, when they weren't around, would put me in charge of people because I was like 30.
You were the Papa Bear.
I was the Papa Bear. And nobody told me what she did. And I also have another story about another dude that's just absolutely horrendous.
Okay.
But nobody told me what she did, but eventually she talked about it.
Okay.
I'm too approachable.
You are. People just tell you shit. People tell you shit about me when
I
I'm
would
like,
make a great spy. I just
why were you
sit there
not
and
telling
listen.
me about it? Like, I
So-
don't get it.
Apparently she was married,
Okay.
but she would sneak out to the Marine dorms and just let them absolutely run trains on them. Like
Okay.
all like she described it as the white stuff coming out of all the holes for like 10 minutes. And then she would just
Did she get
blackout drunk.
STDs?
Yes. Blackout drunk, and the last straw was how the MTLs ended up finding out about this was she came home drunk back to the barracks, just at like beyond shit-faced. Like we don't know how she was walking. And took the runniest whiskey shit in her roommate's laundry.
Oh, no. Was it at least dirty laundry?
I don't know. She just said laundry.
Oh, fuck.
So I was watching her while she was getting the paperwork to be kicked out. And the other guy was a military training leader. Well, a gold rope, I guess we called them.
Whatever.
They were the most satisfactory of young airmen going through training, so they got to be in charge of flights and stuff like that because they set the example. And then it came out that he was using the rope teams to run a prostitution ring in the same training. Yeah, people think that all military members are like high upstanding citizens. It's just a normal sample of society. It's just a smaller sample.
You get the best and you get the worst and everything in between.
And this was a very, very how would I say it? Like it's a very guarded career field. Like you don't just get in this career field.
Yeah.
Like people are vetted hardcore. And yet people like this sneak through. Just absolute trash people.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Gosh, wow. Okay. So, wait, so she was getting kicked out because she was getting shit-faced?
Oh, no.
What was her crime?
Ruining property.
Okay. Don't destroy your
There's also
property.
I'm pretty sure I think there were drugs involved.
Psst, 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 psst.
But it wasn't just like one offense.
Yeah, it was like multiple things.
It was
Yeah.
and it's hard to get kicked out of the military.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Well, unless you do drugs. Then that's relatively easy to
Okay,
get
yeah.
kicked
No,
out for.
that's the only thing that's like pretty much instant.
Yeah, even if it's marijuana, you get kicked out for that.
Yeah.
Like, pretty easily, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did we both do a Oh, yeah.
Can I tell my grossest story?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell a tame one. So
No. You said
well,
the grossest.
I'm gonna tell two.
Ooh,
One of
what was
those, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? It's yeah.
Nope, don't put, I gotta lean on something.
So this is one of my senior NCOs, senior non-commissioned officers. They're enlisted, but they're at the higher echelon of the enlisted ranks. Anyways, we worked together. He was in a different wing than me, but we worked together in the same office. And he was telling me about a time where he had to be there for one of his troops who got an Article 15, which is really bad news. If you get an Article 15 in the military,
You're probably getting charged with a felony.
yeah, you can bounce back, but it's rather difficult. So anyways, this guy shows up in his dress blues in front of the commander. My colleague, his supervisor, was there, and he's at attention, and the commander's like telling him like, hey, this is what the Article 15 is for. And all of a sudden, this guy farts. And his supervisor, my colleague, had to clench his butt cheeks from laughing. He literally had to clench everything in from laughing. And the commander didn't even skip a beat. Didn't even react and I'm like, wow, I would have really
lost it.
I would have lost it. But anyways, that's a fun
Laughing.
one. That is a fun one.
And
okay.
then I would have tore him a knee.
Here's the gross one, and it's kind of sad.
Hilarious.
So my old flight chief in one of my squadrons, I was a flight commander, and he used to be a military training leader at one of the tech schools. And as an MTL, you oftentimes it's babysitting, right? And there are dorm inspections all the time. Well, they went into this guy's dorm, and because they've gotten complaints, it smelled horrendous. Her roommate was complaining. So they go in and they do an inspection, right? And they're looking around, they're like, where the fuck is this smell coming from? It's so gross. Yeah, it's a story. So they go to the guy's bed, or one of the guy's bed, and they pull the bed from the wall, and they look, and it's fungus or fungi growing out of lovely, well-used condoms. And of course they were like, well, this is a problem. I don't remember like exactly how they got the condoms tested or whatnot, but turns out someone had collected the condoms, turned them over to OSI, which are like, if you've watched NCIS, that's the Air Force's version of NCIS, but they're OSI agents. That's what we call them in the Air Force. They turn them over and...
Office of Special Investigations.
Yes. Thank you. Which I need to go through NCIS. That's such a good show. Anyways, yes. So there's a national program, whatever, where people can, it's voluntary, or they collect it in a criminal investigation from a crime scene or whatever, depending what happens. And the semen from the condoms matched a serial rapist case. And turns out he was a serial rapist, and that's how they caught him.
So not only do you not dispose of the evidence, but you keep it long enough, it starts to live.
Yeah, like I didn't know that semen could cause fungus to grow.
Anything that's biological can.
Yeah, that's true. It's organic. So, yeah that's pretty gnarly story. Sorry, it's your turn.
If you had to describe your military experience using only a meme, which one would it be?
Oh my gosh. You know what? Okay, it's like the room is on fire, the dog is in it, and it says, "It's okay." The room is on fire, but it's okay. That's pretty much.
Everything's fine.
Yes.
This is fine.
Yes, this is fine. I literally had
a few patches.
I literally had that meme printed out like at some of my offices throughout my career. Like, and then that's just, it is what it is. You deal with it and it's fine. You move on.
Yeah. I might have to say mine is probably Bad Luck Brian.
Nice. Very nice.
Mainly just because I love all the captions that are put onto that meme.
Oh, yeah. That's so good. Okay. If our relationship was a military operation, what would its code name be?
Operation No Pants Dance.
Okay. Okay.
That's quick.
I like it. All right, let's move on. No need to linger.
What would you think?
I don't know. I'm not creative. I'm not creative like you.
Oh, okay. Back to serious ones, I guess.
If you want to.
Or is it your turn?
I asked you a question.
Which was what? Oh, wait, which one?
The military operation.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
You just didn't. I'm used to both of us answering. Sorry, that threw me off.
Oh, okay.
What's one thing you learned about mental toughness that you think civilians could benefit from?
Civilians could benefit from.
I guess anybody. There's people in the military that don't even learn this type of stuff. Well, while you're thinking, I will definitely say it's sometimes you just have to put yourself aside and do the shit.
Yes.
Because there have been so many times I've had to just do the shit I was asked to do, even though I was in the middle of an anxiety attack. I had to get it done.
Yeah,
like
whether it's work or being at home.
Sometimes there's no opportunity for a safe space, and it's not society's job to create a safe space for you to get through what you're getting through. Sometimes you just have to get through it. And that's just in life in general.
Yeah.
Really? It's allergies.
Okay. This are going to be in third. Okay. You nailed it. Love.
Oh, so does that mean you couldn't think of anything?
No, I think that's so... I think, like, with the military, you're obviously there for, like, a higher calling. Sort of. For the most part. Depending on why you join. Anyways. And there's, like, this ethos of, like, it's bigger than yourself. Which is, I think, work satisfaction can come from. Assuming you have, like, a healthy work environment. And I think it's what you
And
said.
even
It's
if
like it's
not a health, like some of the worst times in my career, or the most miserable squadrons I've ever been in. Like, I've done some of the things I'm most proud of in my career.
yeah, like you show up and like there's a job to do.
Yeah.
And people are depending on you. And I think that's something that I don't think a lot of civilians, granted, it depends on like what industry you're in for sure. But as like an accountant, maybe.
If you
For,
are
like,
an
a
accountant in the Air
company.
Force, don't mess with somebody's W-2.
Yes.
Don't
Yes.
fucking do it.
Finances in
Don't
the Air Force.
do it.
That is a hot topic for another day. Gosh, I could. But yeah, I don't think civilians realize that like we can't just quit. We literally can't.
You have to find a way through.
If you don't show up, you are AWOL. And if you want to get kicked out, you can certainly get kicked out. That's fine if that's your plan.
Usually,
But
most ways that get you kicked out also end you up in jail.
yeah, or with a dishonorable discharge,
Which is
gonna screw you
it's the same
over.
thing as having a felony on your record.
Yeah. So it's like there's a reason why a lot of people do end up killing themselves. It's because they feel like they have no choice. And I don't think that's the difference between civilian world where you can quit for the most part. But yeah, that's not really mental toughness. It's like you show up, you do the job, but you
There
have
is a
to
mental
learn.
toughness
Yeah.
in that. Like, a lot of people that I've talked to these days, especially going to school with all these kids, is
Oh yeah.
like, well, I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. And it's one of those things where you don't
Yeah.
have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, not every single aspect of your life is up to what brings you peace and pleasure.
Yeah. You have to be an adult.
And a lot of adulting is just dealing with shit and going through shit.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. If you had to plan a military-themed date night, what would we do?
Oh.
I could already think of one.
Skydiving.
Okay, I
that?
like it.
But
I like
honestly,
it.
it would probably just, I mean, to keep it true to form, I'd probably just be sitting there and be berated.
By me? Wait, what?
It'd be Air Force or military themed.
So our date night would be being subjected to being berated by people?
Verbally, yes.
Whoa, okay.
Wait. Do you mean
idea...
accurate military experience or a fun date
No,
night?
it like a military-themed date night.
Oh, well, skydiving.
Okay. Mine was going to be like paintballing.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Yeah. And then drinking, because that's part of the military culture.
Yeah.
For better, for worse.
To a detriment. That's
to
part
a
of the
detriment,
military
yes.
culture.
Yeah.
In fact, that's how a lot of higher-ups will tell you to deal with your mental health shit is just go on,
Drink.
have some whiskey, come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
True story.
And yet we can't have marijuana,
Yeah.
which is healthier.
Stupid paper lobbies.
I know. Anyways, what's the next question? We're almost done.
Yeah.
We're almost done.
Serious or funny?
Let's do serious so we can end on funny.
Okay. I got 2 serious left because I added a bonus. I'm trying to pick between the 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll keep these 2 answers real short, but I want to ask you both of them.
Okay.
If you could change one thing about how the military handles mental health, what would it be?
I would say automatically don't even have a mental health clinic, but only to like immediately triage people that need to be immediately seen. But outside of that, like everyone should be referred out to the community.
Yes. I would say that too.
Like off-base counselors.
Yeah.
And also, I think something that would help the situation that I'm a huge advocate of like subordinates, so like troops, a airman, you know, like him, would be able to rate on officers, supervisors, people like me. I think you would see definitely a shift. Sure, there would be some...
There'd be more accountability in actions.
There would be more accountability. Yeah, people would use it for evil, but you could turn anything into a bad thing. But I think you would see more benefit than harm.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think a two-way rating system, because right now in the Air Force, like supervisors, NCOs, officers rate on their subordinates. I think they should rate on us as well. Yeah. Because we have obligations that we need to fill as a leader for them.
I would say those exact two same things because, like, they have mental health clinics on base, but the way the military works is they only pay for the cheapest thing. Like, they will contract out the lowest bidder, and that includes doctors and mental health.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
So you get the people that no one else will hire that are desperate for a job, and no one will hire them for a reason.
All right, you ready for this one? If you had to swap roles for a week with me, what would be the first thing that you would do?
Oh, jeez. Bask in my glory.
What? Okay, wow.
No.
Too late. That was your first answer.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
What would I do as a captain?
Yeah. Oh,
Morale day, but don't do something stupid.
Oh, Cortana. Our cat is meowing.
What about you? What would you do as a enlisted?
As a senior airman?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I would show up ready for jokes, and I would just do the bare minimum.
As the base leader of the E4 Mafia, what would you...
I would start up some shenanigans. Man, I would do so much. And just not really give.
Oh yeah, it's great. You just do your job and go home. You don't have to give many fucks.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you
I would start shenanigans for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Although the thing about shenanigans is E4 is you can't get away with a lot of them. Unless no one knows it's you.
Depends. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So last serious question. How has military life changed your perspective on mental resilience and stress management? It's a packed one.
I feel like nothing is harder than what I went through with you in the military. Like with like suicide scare and whatnot. Like I don't, outside of like you or me getting cancer or whatnot, like honestly, or like being murdered.
I don't think you understood the question.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
How has the military changed your perspective on mental resilience and stress management? Like, what lessons did you learn about how to be more resilient and better manage your stress?
Yeah. Learn how to say no. Recognize that while your immediate leadership may care about you, but at the end of the day, on paper, you are just a number. So I think putting that into perspective of like, I don't have to give 100% every single day. It's okay to just do the bare minimum. I wouldn't say like every day,
No, some days it's...
But
if you give
some days
80% one day, you're allowed to give 10% some other day.
Exactly. It just depends on like where you're at, what's happening, and I think that's where the military and like all the experiences with it has taught me like it's okay to say no. I know what I'm worth. The military will get whatever it can get out of me. And so only I can look after myself. And that's the God honest truth.
Beside that is a very good answer. Besides that, I would just say that, like, kind of like I said earlier, sometimes you just have to accept that things are going to be shit and you just have to get through them.
Yes.
Like, sometimes you have to just strap on your boots or hoist up the gals and just know it's tough titty time.
Yeah. For real.
On that note, it is time for the funny.
Yes, I have one last question. It's really lame, but it's kind of funny. Okay. What's the worst military haircut you've ever seen?
Probably one of mine at one point. Like, it was bad. But I didn't pick it. They just...
You mean the shaved head look?
No. Oh, that was bad. But, no, it was...
Let me tell you.
My normal barber wasn't available, so I just went to, like, Great Clips or something like that, and they fucked my shit up. Because, I mean, it was Virginia, so they're like, oh, military? All right, I got the cut for you. And it was bad.
Yeah, well, definitely don't get your haircut done on base.
No.
That's rule number one. Even when you tell them, like, how you want it cut.
There's 3 options on base. You don't want it. You shouldn't have gotten it. And fucked up.
Yep. Yeah. And even then, apparently, like, prices on base for getting your haircut aren't really that cheap anymore. So you might as well not go to them.
When we first started, it was like $5.
Yeah.
And it was like 20.
I know, it was kind of a lame question to end on.
I still have my funny question.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Let me save the day.
All right. Go for it.
I'm going to ask you 2 in quick succession, so you better answer good.
Okay.
What is the best, and by best I mean worst, nickname you've heard for someone?
Gags.
Gags?
I don't even know how that's an approved nickname. But
Guy or gal?
Apparently it was an acronym for something that I never learned what.
You didn't answer my question.
But it was for a guy.
Oh, okay. Mine would probably have to be Buttons.
Buttons?
I know for a fact he is still called Buttons to this day.
Oh, yeah?
All because of basic training. That he just could not remember to button up his buttons when he was hanging his uniform in his locker. Next question is, what is the most ridiculous safety brief warning you've ever received? This is probably more for me than it is for you. I don't think you get safety briefs. You give them.
Yeah, we do.
You do?
I remember, this was like years ago, but someone had brought, like, they, like, ran in to our auditorium with, like, an umbrella, and they had someone, I don't think I told you this. They had planned it to where, like, someone in the front row had, like, a bucket of water. And they actually, like, threw the bucket of water at him. And he had some sort of, like, safety briefing on, like, thunderstorms.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was definitely theatrical, for sure.
Mine was pretty consistent. After the first person said it, everyone said it.
Yeah.
At every brief after that, it was always, like, it was never... They're never heartfelt. It's always like, don't drive drunk, don't do drugs, don't, do something stupid. And then somebody added, do not add or subtract to the population.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't add to the population unless you're intentionally doing so, and don't subtract to the
Oh
population.
no, there was not that. It was just do not add or subtract from the population.
Oh.
Or add to or subtract from the population.
Fun times.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Consistent.
Yeah. So next episode will probably be something different, but these are our 2 military episodes. We'll still talk about our experience going forward, but it's not going to be solely focused.
I just wanted to do something fun today.
Yeah, no, what we're here to do. It's been a while since we've been consistent with episodes, so we're just trying to get back into that, so please be patient with us. Life's been crazy lately, but we will be better at it, so don't stop listening or watching. We're here. We're just... We're moving. Just moving along in life. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Queen Anne's Revenge is getting updated. We're about to start pumping out more YouTube videos, finally, after talking about it for years.
Oh, man. That's going to be great.
We had the time to do it. We're even starting up Overland meets. Trail Pirate Overland is a thing. So if you're in the Colorado area, if you don't mind traveling, or if you're near Denver or something, hit us up on Instagram. And if you want a crew to roll with that is a group that, has your back on the trail and off, come on.
Hell yeah. Join the crew. Because
adventure is healing.